Boyfriend 24M and I 24F got into a physical fight last night. My boyfriend 24M and I 19F have been dating for about 7 months now, and last night we got into a physical altercation. I have been telling my boyfriend for months that when we have sex a condom is necessity, and every time he comes up with an excuse to not wear one. From none of them fit me, to it feels weird, and it feels suffocating and uncomfortable for me. I kind of gave in and let him have his way. About a month ago I had an abortion, and we are just now being sexually active again. Last night I opened the condom for him and went to put it in him, but he kind of pushed me away and said, "What is that?" I told him we have to be extra careful since it's happened once, and it can happen again, and he literally just kept refusing. I told him I wouldn't have sex with him now or in the future if he didn't wrap it up. He proceeded to get angry and start pushing stuff off the dresser. I made a sarcastic comment like, "Yeah, like that's gonna solve anything." We exchanged words, and somewhere in the argument he said something along the lines of, "If you leave me I know you'll just give it up anyway," and I slapped him. Before I knew it he had me by my throat. I was scratching him, and he eventually let go and punched me. I've always kind of known he's had a temper, but I didn't think it'd get this bad. I know I am partly to blame for the argument, but can anyone give me tips on where to go from here? Fucking leave. Don't even think about staying. Never look back. Leave. The reaction to turning down sexual activity because of his refusal to wear a condom is a massive indicator of how much he doesn't respect you or your concerns. Even if you started the altercation a slap, doesn't translate to a punch from a grown man. 35 people in 35 minutes just told you to leave him forever. I am worried that you won't though. Get out of here with this. None of them fits me bullshit. It is simply more important for this man-child to get the best fifi in his peep than to not actively endanger your health, life, and future. He is 100% to blame for his argument. You shouldn't have slapped him. You should have been out the first time he complained about the condom and changed the locks. Now add calling the police and a restraining order to the list. He will kill you. Strangulation increases chance of murder by 700%. Do not stick around to find out. You break up. There is only one reason why a 24-year-old man wants to date a literal teenager. He doesn't respect you or he'd wear a condom. And he choked you. Physical abuse needs to always be a one-and-done issue. Never ever accept physical abuse. And you were wrong to slap him. Break up already. This is not a healthy relationship from any angle. Do better. Get out of here. A man who refuses to put a condom after the trauma of an abortion on top of that, throw a tantrum and punch someone. I F44 feel guilty for giving out to my husband M48. I gave out to my husband earlier this evening. He always gropes me at such inappropriate times, especially in front of the kids, and I hate it. My teenage daughter and I were watching a movie, and my husband was in the kitchen drinking. He then came over to where I was sitting looking for the remote, and pretended to look for the remote, and was grabbing my crotch. I told him to stop, and he didn't listen, so I shouted at him to stop. He looked annoyed that I shouted at him, and then he walked off. He is now upstairs in our bedroom and ignoring me. I feel really bad now. We have had this conversation recently, and he said he wouldn't do it anymore, and now, whenever he touches me, he always says, "Oh, I better not grope you." I'm so sick of it. I sometimes feel like leaving. Has anyone else been in this situation, and how did you fix the problem? Doing this in front of your kids is abuse for them, too. Your daughter doesn't need to be exposed to sex or sexual behavior while dad gropes all around mom's crotch. Leaving would be a valid choice. Editing to add that his silent treatment is a manipulative tactic designed to make you feel guilty. Don't let it work. You didn't do anything wrong here. No means no. That's vile. He grabbed at your crotch in front of your child? Was he drunk? Let him ignore you. He owes you an apology. Honestly, for me, that would be enough to leave. What does gave out to mean? He is sexually assaulting you even as you continue to say no, and then males you feel bad for setting boundaries. I'm so glad you yelled at him. I hope your children saw that. No means no. Your body, your temple. Your husband is an asshole. Consent is consent. You clearly told him to stop, and he didn't. You need to have a serious sit-down conversation with him about it. Put on your mom voice. Don't let him gaslight you. Tell him what a bad example he's setting to do this in front of the kids. What if someone treated your daughter that way? After she said no multiple times? Tell him he needs to do better, and this is the last time you're letting him get away with it. Mean it. I'd also add what a turn-off it is for you for him to behave this way. Seriously, this guy needs to get a clue. Unless you want your daughter to grow up thinking that this is how a man should treat a woman, you need to leave immediately. This man is assaulting you. He is being inappropriate in front of your child. He's quite possibly a worthless drunk. How would you feel if your daughter settled for someone like that? My M29 girlfriend, F29, gets made every Friday night when I play games. I M29, play video games one night a week, Friday night after work. My girlfriend's, F29, always is upset and annoyed every single Friday night that I play games and I don't spend time with her. When the rest of the week and weekend we spend almost all our time together. I do get off work a few hours after her, and she says it makes her upset because it's the start of the weekend, and when I get off I usually immediately am getting ready to game. But that's because all my friends work first shift, and by the time I get off work they're starting to get tired. So realistically, I'm only playing probably 2 hours Friday night. And she takes it so bad. I think it's starting to affect our relationship, and it's starting to annoy me too. We have been living together a few months now, and have been together for 2 years now. Anything I can do. I've been married for a long time, and I also enjoy video games. When I want to play, I go play. My wife watches her TV shows or bakes, or whatever she wants to do. Then when we want to hang out, we do. Or if one of us is tired or not in the mood, we say so and go do our own thing. You're in a relationship. You aren't going anywhere. If she can't entertain herself without you, she needs a hobby. If you're spending the rest of the weekend together, and Friday night is the time you're spending with your friends, via gaming, can you encourage her to spend time with her friends on Friday nights? It's healthy for couples to have friends outside the relationship. If she can't respect your sacred 2 hours a week to relax and entertain yourself, she ain't for you. I have a thing for gamers. I've dated a lot of them. They play anywhere from 2 to 6 hours of gaming a night, and it has never bothered me because I just go do what I want. I also have a friend who also dates a lot of gamers and cannot keep herself entertained to save her life. I have literally never seen her in a happy relationship. If someone cannot entertain themselves, know that you will be responsible for entertaining them. And if you say no, the only way she can entertain herself is by picking fight with you until you solve the problem for her. Ask her kindly, which is frustrating her, A, you playing video games for 2-3 hours once per week, or B, that it's on Friday night. Obviously phrase this differently than I did. If it's B, this is easily fixed. Alternate playing on a different night every other week. That way you get a Friday night gaming, then she gets a Friday night out, or whatever couple thing. You still get to game every week. If it's A, that's a bigger problem. Then there needs to be a discussion about boundaries, about having dedicated independent time where both of you are able to do hobbies or see friends or whatever. That's super important for a healthy relationship. Living together and spending 24/7 together outside work is usually not a sustainable relationship dynamic. You literally live together and spend all the other days with her. She should loosen up and let you have your own thing without her. She ought to get a hobby herself. It's healthy to have your alone time and time doing things with other people outside your relationship. She may be codependent if she can't go a few hours without your attention outside work. Not wanting to propose yet, even though my 22 male girlfriend, 22 female, gave me a deadline. I, 22M, have been with my girlfriend, 22F, since we were 13. We've basically grown up together, and she's the only serious relationship I've ever had. I love her, we have lived together since 19, and things between us are good overall. The issue is marriage. She's made it really clear that she wants to be married by or during 25 years old. She recently told me she feels like if I don't propose soon, I'm just wasting her time, and she could be with someone who does want to commit to her in that way. I get where she's coming from, but I just don't feel ready. It's not that I don't see a future with her, it's just that marriage feels like such a huge, permanent step, and I don't feel ready to lock myself into that decision right now. I'm still figuring myself out, my career, my finances, all of that. I'm not finishing university for another 2 years. She says I should already know after 10 years whether I want to marry her. I honestly don't have an answer. I care about her deeply, but the pressure is stressing me out and making me want to pull away. We have spoken about kids, and both agreed 30 is a good time. So she is concerned I might think I'll get babies without a ring and brings it up constantly in a defensive manner. Now she's upset and says I'm stringing her along. From my side, I feel like I'm being pushed into making a life-altering decision on her timeline instead of mine. But from her side, I guess I've had over a decade to make up my mind. So what do we do now? We both love each other, but every time this conversation comes up, we end up ignoring and avoiding each other for at least an hour due to hurt feelings both sides. She's right, and you're right. Waiting until you finish school to take that step is smart, but you should also know if that's a step you'd even take with her after 10 years together. You would certainly be wasting her time if you made her wait until 25 and then decided you don't want to be married. If you don't want to be married, and she does, then it's time to let her go so she can find someone else. You're viewing marriage as the destination instead of a step in the journey together. If she proposed to you tonight, what would your answer be? What I don't get in cases like these, how do you think that not proposing is not a life-altering decision that will probably result in her eventually leaving, which will alter your life? You've two options: propose and get married, or don't propose and live without her. There's nothing wrong with either, but the third option, which is don't change anything, is not something which is on the table, not if she talks about being strung along. This is the great thing about ultimatums. They force a decision. You may feel like you're being forced to do what she wants, but you're not. You are being forced to decide what you want on her timeline. But if that's not fair after 10 years, then I don't know when it is. Also, the underlying point is that after 10 years, this really shouldn't be a decision you have to think much about. If you truly love her, then the idea of commitment to her should bring you joy and excitement. The way you worded it as being permanent, lock yourself, makes it sound like you're just going about this the wrong way, like you want to explore your options. It's not a good attitude to view a future spent with the love of your life. Let her go and let her find a man who loves her enough to give her that commitment with his whole heart.